So that brings us to the locking form, and the first lock we're going to do is the center lock. And when you look at the photograph here, you can see that Natalie's grabbed Colin's hand and she's taken the palm towards the elbow, and she's just resting her hand, the other hand, her left hand, on the top of his arm to stop the elbow from coming up. So now when Natalie applies the lock, you can see we're doing it from a grab, so that she can use her body behind it as well. And she takes Colin's arm to the position that was in the photograph, and when she gets to that position, she now rotates the little finger towards Colin's nose. That's Colin's little finger towards his nose. So by turning that in, she's locking the two joints. So she's locking the wrist and the elbow. And that brings us to the armbar. And in the photograph here, you can see that Natalie's turned Colin's hand over in the same way as she did in the center lock, and she's using the tiger's mouth between the thumb and the forefinger there to control and lock the elbow. Then we're doing the application again from a grab, and you can see that Natalie turns that wrist and hand over as she did in the photograph, puts the tiger's mouth onto his elbow, but then she steps round. See, she steps with the left leg so that her arms remain aligned with her body, so she's using her feet, legs and body to actually power the lock. Which takes us to the triple joint lock, and here in the photograph you can see that Natalie's rotated Colin's hand round and allowed the elbow to come up this time, but she's pulling the hand round to make sure that the wrist, the elbow and the shoulder are all locked. Application from a grab again, because we do this for the kids with bullying and quite often when someone's been grabbed. Now see how Natalie uses her body. From the grab, see how she turns it and her body actually makes the lock as she raises it up. See how as she applies the lock, Colin wants to step backwards and round. And if you want to take someone to the floor from there, you put your hand up to the elbow. With a light press, they would drop down to the floor. Otherwise, you can drop them down into what you call a chicken beak lock. So that brings us to the wrist lock. And as you can see in the photograph here, Natalie's got both thumbs on the back of Colin's hand, and she's pressing his hand towards his body, locking the wrist that way, getting ready to rotate it. So in application, again from a grab, if you see Natalie reaches over with her left hand, turns it over to the position in the photograph, steps back and round with her left leg, so she makes the circle as tight as possible to make the lock work. And you can see she takes Colin down to the ground. And again, an excellent lock that's often used in bullying, and also to take maybe a knife or something that might be in someone's hand. So the important thing here is to make sure that you reach over, turn the hand over, sometimes pull it hard against your own body, or you can take it away, but make the circle in the wrist as small as you can. And that brings us to the locking form. The idea here is to put all the locks together, and as you can see here, Natalie's moving seamlessly from one to the other. Actually, Colin, in trying to get out of one lock, creates the next.